Hi, Libra. Welcome to your reading. This is for November 2023, but I did decide to do your reading early because I'm ahead of schedule. So I thought, let's do a birthday reading for you. So happy birthday to those who are celebrating or have already. My nephew Sean is right on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. He's the 24th. He's a Libra, but he's right on the cusp of Virgo. My beautiful granddaughter, who's going to be 18, can't believe it, October 14th, and my beautiful sister Tracy, who has crossed over, Sean's mom, which you guys know I always fill her in our reading. Hers was the 15th. So, a lot of Libra love. I am running just real quick. I am running a personal reading special, and I'm doing it because I do have a little bit of free time, so I feel like I can catch up on some on some personal reading. So, what I'm doing is taking $44 off a personal reading. A personal reading is usually like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. It's very, very in depth. It's your questions. Um, it's messages from your spirit guides. And again, we go very, very in depth. So I'll have that information below. But I just did do a community post about it also. I'm gonna run it for 5 days, and that's as long as I can run it because I don't want to get too backed up. So anyway, I wanted to let you know about that. But anyway, so this is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided. I thank you so much for paying attention to your intuition. I feel like your guides thank you. Some of you may be here checking up on a Libra, or you may have planets in the sign of Libra. Whatever brought you, welcome. So happy you're here. I'm grateful for you. So we're going to use 3 different decks, Libra. We're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. I'm using a different clarifier than I normally use. I would use this normally for like a main spread. I believe it's called the Universal Tarot. It's one of those decks where like I've put away for a while and I've fallen back in love with it. So I'm bringing it back out, but I felt like for your main spread, the Tarot Dreams was really calling out to me. So Tarot Dreams for your main spread, but we'll start with Mother Mary. Let me go ahead and bring the lid down a little bit. There we go. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting on this computer. Every time I think it's fine, then I watch back a video. I just did Scorpios and theirs was a little light. So I readjusted yours. I'm hoping, praying that I can find the perfect light. All right. Mother Mary. Mother Mary. For Libra. November 2023. I'm proud of myself for getting these out early. Normally I'm like fighting at the end of the month trying to get everyone's readings out, but I somehow found myself with some extra time, which I'm surprised. And I thought, you know what, let's get a head start on these readings because time is fluid. I feel like a reading will find you or you'll find a reading in divine timing. So, and again, whether it's your sign or not, something may pique your interest. Just trust that. All right. Mother Mary's like, enough talking. Let me bring the book out, which we are going to read at the end. But let's see what we have. Quiet. Quiet. I go into peaceful silence and I listen. I go into peaceful silence and I listen. It's interesting. I just did a meditation for you guys as a thank you. And it's something I'm still learning. So I feel like my voice could have been louder over the music, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to do more of those. And that kind of reminds me of that. I go into peaceful silence and I listen. And then we have temperance, patience. I don't know why I call it temperance, but it reminds me of temperance from the tarot. So patience. I trust in divine timing. I trust in divine timing, and I go into peaceful silence and I listen. I feel like that's probably saying to you that there are going to be certain signs sent to you, and it may need a quiet mind to really pick up on it. Now, if you miss a sign, your guides know that they'll send it again. I feel like many times it's within the readings you'll see signs, numbers, synchronicities. Pay attention to that. I pay attention to everything in a reading. Of course, that could be my Virgo mind. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the Tarot of Dreams. Everything is pre-shuffled, though I do like to shuffle with you here. All right, let's give him a cut. Queen of Swords, Eight of Swords. All right, Queen of Swords could very much be you. Libra could be another Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Then she's met with the Eight of Swords, so self-created prison. Hmm. Um, I feel a lot of times if the Queen of Swords has a prison she's created, many times it's in her voice, her thoughts, her communication. Almost like I'm not trusting my own voice for some reason. This is self-created, so the only person who can uncreate it is you or whoever it belongs to. Let's keep going. Let's see why it was even created in the first place. Here's an 8. So I'm telling you, 8s have been the name of the game. We're moving into universal year 8. I have a feeling that's why we're seeing a lot of 8s. Like, get ready. Get ready for some new beginnings. You may be wrapping some things up at the end. We're towards the end of the year now. All right. We have the Palace of Cups. Interesting. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Four Swords, healing. Beautiful. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, it could also be you, though. Because I feel like you're really all people unless I feel it otherwise. For some of you, definitely can be a fire sign. But I feel like this is the Queen of Action. This is someone who will take action first, think about it later. Now, sometimes that pays off, sometimes it doesn't pay off. I'm noticing the Queen of Swords is mirrored by the Five of Pentacles over here. And Five of Pentacles can feel like a tower, like that energy feeling thrown out into the cold. Many times I don't expect it, but do I? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like deep down, probably know that this is going to happen. I feel like for some of you, it must be like in your emotional sector, even though I feel like it now has landed like within your mental thoughts and that. I feel like there's fear, uh, you know, a little bit of fear over love. Um, though the Four Swords being here is the ability to heal that, right? When I look at the Four Swords, I think about the three swords that are piercing the heart, the mind, the soul. And this is healing over that. And then that fourth sword is of my own making. So what is my part within, these what feels like tower moments or relationships that didn't work out? And I don't mean that as a judgment. I mean you're just asking yourself, okay, what part did I play in this? And because I feel like once we're real with ourselves, everything else just kind of makes sense. We have the Seven of Cups, and then we have the Star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. It feels like one wish did not come true. At least not the way that you saw it in your head. And, that's never an easy thing. However, I feel like this is talking about the next dream, a new dream, like keeping hope alive because it feels like, first of all, the Seven of Cups there, it means that you're in a question mode. Like, an opportunity to pick one of these cups. And I feel like, let's say the Four of Swords wasn't here. Well, then I may have a much harder time trusting myself and choosing a cup. But because it's here, I feel like I feel like it frees your mind. Seven of Cups can be chaotic energy. Like somebody coming in very quickly and like pronouncing their feelings, and it's like waiting for your response. Just, it's reminding me of like when Sam and I, we were teenagers and, we were dating. I mean, we were a couple. And one night he was dropping me off at home. And I mean, we were just teenagers. And he said that he loved me. And I couldn't say it back, even though I felt it. Like, and the reason why is I just didn't grow up hearing that a lot. So it was very hard for me to say that. Um, and then he broke up with me. So, but 40 years later, we're back together. So you never know. You never know. You never know. But I'm kind of getting that a little bit, but I'm getting it more from like Sam's perspective. Like I pronounce how I feel and someone shoots it down. Though maybe because I'm bringing it up, like someone shoots it down, but I may take it in the wrong way, right? Because I really did love him. I just couldn't say it. So, anyways, the star tells me that there is another dream, and it's interesting because it's coming under the Five of Pentacles, which often feels like a tower. Again, the energy of feeling thrown out into the cold. But that doesn't mean that your life is over, right? That you should just stop dreaming or stop wishing or give up hope. Quite the opposite. And because this is talking about divine timing over here, and I feel like messages are being sent to you, the Four of Swords feels more important than ever, right? The healing over the past. And especially over that Eight of Swords, that self created prison. It's showing us what it's blocking, which is the Palace of Cups. So, why would I create the Eight of Swords? Well, it's a fear-based type energy. I'm trying to protect myself. I always find it interesting because this person is naked and she's got her back to us, almost like, well, if I don't see them, they can't see me. But yet we do see her, right? We do see her. All right, let's keep going. For some of you, I feel like this Queen of Wands is saying, choose a cup, pick a cup. Don't allow your fear based mind to interrupt what I feel like is the flow of what's next. Okay, wow. Well, first of all, I see the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. We're going to take them in order, though. So we have the Ten of Cups, the House of Harmony, House of Love, Laughter, Joy. Doesn't mean that the people in this house are, sheltered from life. No. But I feel like in this type of energy, this is where we work it out together. Uh, we're a unit. All right, what else do we have? We have the Palace of Swords, and then we have the Ten of Pentacles. And last but not least, we have the Page of Wands. Many of you have been with me for a while know that I call the Page of Wands my Fool. And I call the Page of Wands my Fool because I definitely feel like this is someone who takes chances in life. Um, and they don't all work out, and that's life, you know what I mean? Um, and this page is being mirrored by the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like there is a decision I may have made that didn't really turn out in my favor. But it doesn't mean things are over. It doesn't mean life is over. Especially with the Queen here, this can talk about, someone or something I did at a younger time in my life, or someone I was with, that type of thing. Um, and, maybe I took a leap of faith, maybe didn't work out 100% in my favor. Maybe it wasn't meant to. Maybe it was only meant to work out for a period of time. Well, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Hello, Two of Cups. Soulmate. I hate to keep using salmon eye as an example, but I see it all the time in a reading because this feels like, again, younger energy where someone got thrown onto the cold, someone ended potentially a relationship. I feel like because of that, I created this prison, you know, these walls, these barriers to protect my heart. However, if you think of like the Empress's energy, uh, she's had many experiences in her life, many hard and some good. But she's learned from that, the wisdom of it all. And what she's learned is to keep her heart open. Creating barriers don't really serve me because really I feel like when I look at this Queen of Swords, her eyes are wide open. She's got a mask on, but her eyes, like the mask is not covering her eyes. So, honesty, truthfulness with yourself. Um, but I get that feeling again of soulmate energy, a younger time and then current energy. So, and listen, I feel like if this has been a hope of yours, it feels like it wants to manifest. I feel like not all soulmates, when they meet, let's say romantically, then spend the rest of their lives together. There are issues that need to be worked out. Even though we're soulmates, we've lived different lives, right? And had different experiences. And now I got to figure out how to bring that together with another. It's not as easy as it sounds. Page of Cups underneath that. So we have two pages. Again, younger energy. Um, However, we have the Ten of Cups and we have the Ten of Pentacles. And we do have the Palace of Cups. This page is being mirrored by the Ten of Cups. So I 100% feel like that you can definitely have this Ten of Cups. I want to say again, but maybe it's just the first time. This may be someone that you're starting a family with. Um, And what I love is having the Ten of Pentacles, especially with the Palace of Swords, right in between the Ten of Cups and the and the Ten of Pentacles. Because to me, the Palace of Swords means that I have mastered the art of communication. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that that I'm all like, I can control everything I say. No, I may still get angry or I still may get fearful, but I don't allow it to interfere in my life in a negative type way. Like I see it, I recognize it, I look at it like, is this even needed or is this coming, or am I basing this on past experiences? So, how interesting. Not only do we have soulmates, we have the star, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, the Palace of Cups and the Palace of Swords. And it's interesting because the Palace of Swords is mirroring this 8 of Swords. Again, that self-created prison. Some of you, I feel like that has been part of your journey. Maybe the last cycle has been really learning how to deal with, I feel like rogue thoughts, like thoughts that go rogue, um, how to pull them back in and, know truth from lies that I may tell myself. That's kind of not the right word I wanted to use, but, um, because ultimately the healing of the mind, the body, and the soul are here, and the recognition of my part in it. Like, I feel like if I don't know my part within the cycles of my life, then how can, it's not that you can't still evolve, but to evolve, like, let's say to go to these palaces, I have to know me. Like, I have to know me. Okay, let's bring in the Universal Tarot. And let's go over this. Let's go deeper. Let's see exactly why everything is here. Star again, right over the Queen of Swords. Feels like, it feels like the universe is saying to you that some type of dream has the ability to manifest. Now, in the stars energy, this isn't like, I don't know, magic, because I'm feeding this dream at the same time. Like I'm nurturing this dream. Um, but again, divine timing, right? Patience, divine timing. And maybe you've had patience. Card of Aquarius, by the way, you have double Aquarius on the board. She's completely naked in the star card, which to me means like I've come, what's the word I want to use? Like I found balance within myself. Um, I'm not afraid to be my unique self. I feel like it's saying that walls have been taken down. Well, that would make sense with the Death card coming over the Eight of Swords, closing of past doors. The Death card talks about transformation. And because it's coming over the Eight of Swords, that's what it's transforming, my thought system. These walls that I've created, that really are not keeping anything out. I just kind of feel, I just keep my back to the world, and for some reason it makes me feel safe. But I feel like in the same breath, it's like your guides are saying, but aren't you also blocking opportunities in that energy? Like there's a real chance of overthinking things within an Eight of Swords. And I feel like that's why the Four of Swords, I've got to look at that fourth sword. I've got to know myself within all situations. So the Death card says, close the door to the past. Even though I feel like for some of you, this may talk about someone from the past coming back, I still want to close the energy of the past. Um, I want to know, I want to know what I can know. But the Death card talks about a rebirth. And I feel like the only way that rebirth can take place is by the Eight of Swords being dealt with. Again, a self created prison. So the only one who can uncreate it is you. Doesn't mean that your guides aren't helping you. I feel like, how do I uncreate that? First, I got to see it. I got to know it. I got to know that when I say, like words like, I'm never going to love again, or I'm never going to give love a chance again. Well, you don't know who's yet to be on your path. You're basing all that on the past. What about the present and the future? Death card is card of Scorpio, by the way. We have the tower. It did show in reverse, but in the beginning of the reading, I told myself I was not going to read reversals, but I'm going to remember it, and I feel like, listen, it's just saying that at one time in your life, there was like, a love affair that didn't go right, quite the opposite. And I feel like, someone may have broken up with you. It reminds me of Sam and I when we were young, right? I love you. And then I couldn't say it back. And he's like, get out of my car. And then that was it. He broke up with me. You know what I mean? But, but then here we are again 40 years later. So, some type of tower did happen. Um, it did show in reverse though. So we want to keep that in mind. And I feel like what that's saying is because the death card is before it, like if I can close the chapters of the past, the doors of the past, like the key will be shown to open up the next door. And I feel like the tower coming in reverse, it's almost like saying, don't fear the tower, don't fear the reaper. You know, um, because when you are very honest with yourself, when you wear no blindfolds, then it's energy that really helps protect you. Like you will feel the energy, you'll feel if something is right, or if it doesn't feel right, then don't second guess that. But I do feel like someone may have thrown you a tower and maybe you didn't expect it. And I know that sucks. It's happened to all of us, or the majority of us, maybe not all of us. Look at that, the Ten of Pentacles again. So, how interesting. We go from the Five of Pentacles back to the Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles here. First of all, I feel like what this is talking about, like this tower happened, no doubt. And this tower caused some to create these prisons, no doubt. It feels very clear to me. Um, So everything in this reading so far is saying, look at your past, look at these experiences, learn what you can from them, but don't create these barriers because lo and behold, even though you were like stripped down to the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles reappears. Now, because it reappears, I feel like it's a message to you saying that whatever's coming next is coming from the energy of loyalty, is coming from the energy of something that could truly take root. We have to remember there's free will, our free will, another person's free will. But if I understand these previous towers, and I just let go of the past as much as I can, well, I feel like the death card is like, no, you got to close the door. It's not just like as much as I can. No, that door needs to be closed. But then when that door is closed, lo and behold, like what was taken is replaced, maybe tenfold. All right. And then we have, well, this makes complete sense, the Nine of Wands over the Four Swords. So it's like the universe or divine is helping to heal your mind, your thoughts, your heart, all of that. But again, the Nine of Wands is me looking at at least the last chapter, if not all the chapters. And I feel like nines represent chapters. And I feel like our life runs in 9 year chapters. So, this is someone who, first of all, I feel like had the guts to really look back and see their part in everything. This is someone who ultimately, because they have the guts to look back and allow that healing to take place and really learn thyself again, this person ultimately becomes a spirit warrior. This person understands their own responsibility within their life and their choices and all that. Now, I'm not saying that anyone deserves this tower, but I certainly don't want this tower to uh, affect the rest of my life. And we can get stuck in that. So, 9 of Wands just feels like the perfect energy because to me, that means that you're ready for what's next. And listen, it may have taken some time for the healing process to take place. And sometimes we're not completely healed when something new enters into our life. But I feel like enough of the past is healed, where there's a better chance of, let's just say, you saying yes. Now it can be the other way around, or they say yes. But I feel like it's you. All right, let's keep going. And I get this feeling also like don't let anybody pressure you into anything, like trust yourself because I get a feeling this Queen of Wands, all of a sudden I feel like you're trying to pressure me into making a decision. I don't know why I feel that. Um, let's see what comes over her. The wheel, destiny. you know, when you see the wheel, but then you also see like the Eight of Swords, you see the Tower, but then the beautiful cards, right? The Ten of Pentacles twice, the Ten of Cups, the Palace of Cups, the Star twice. It's just a reminder that not just only good things lie upon your wheel, so do some difficult experiences, but these experiences really, if I'm able to reflect upon them, they show me my soul's growth. If we think about that we're a spiritual being having human experiences, then we know that we can handle these elements. We can handle these towers. We can bounce back from, someone like, just cutting us out of their life type of energy. We can bounce back. Um, and to me, it means like all that is part of your destiny, not just the lovey dovey part, right? We do have a soulmate here that sits upon your wheel. And I do feel like, this soulmate is either on their way or you already know who I'm talking about. Well, hello, Knight of Pentacles, my guardian angel. You know, the Knight of Pentacles talks about when I come in, it's at the right time, not before, not after. It's following the wheel. It's coming over the Seven of Cups where you're choosing a cup. The Knight, I feel like, it's another layer of security. I don't know if that's the right word. Because this Knight is, I feel like, a guardian angel. It's definitely, I feel like, the leader of your spiritual team, let's say. This Knight's responsible to bring this pentacle into your life, and this pentacle is meant to truly expand your world, right? But it feels like you do have to choose it. He's looking right over at the star. So even though I may potentially be having a wish come true, if I don't like deal with the fear factor part of it, then how am I going to receive this? First of all, I feel like the Knight of Pentacles doesn't come in until it's the right time. So that means the healing and the looking over of like just my own life has already happened. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay, I don't love that. We have the Five of Pentacles, interesting, coming over the Ten of Cups. Then we have the Ace of Wands coming over the Palace of Swords, but also under the wheel. Interesting, because this five, the Five of Pentacles, is then replaced with the Ten of Pentacles. So, whatever is taken is fulfilled again. Now, doesn't mean it has to be the same person, and it doesn't mean right away. Like, I feel like after a period of time, after the reflection, after like, getting to know myself. And then this five of pentacles is coming over the 10 of cups. It's almost like you're switching houses, you're switching different types of, maybe before all that concerned me was love. But now, as I'm aging or maturing, I'm understanding that it's not just love I need. I need loyalty. I need security. I want a love that I can truly set down roots with. This isn't about like I just want to date. This is someone that I want to spend my life with. I don't love that the Nine of Swords is here because it's coming over the star. The Nine of Swords, it is extreme worry. I mean, and it's being mirrored by the Nine of Wands. So I feel like it's saying to you, I mean, you're going to do one or the other. And in the Nine of Wands, I've got the guts to look back, understand it all. And again, it's not to put judgment on yourself, it's to know yourself. Or I'm going to be in the Nine of Swords energy, which again can be sleepless nights. It can be energy that is going to manifest itself through the body in some way if I don't deal with it. The Nine of Swords talks about unnecessary worry. That's what you want to remember. It's unnecessary. Like this created prison. It's unnecessary. Everybody gets it. We all do it. But our guides are always saying that's not the way, right? Because then you don't learn how to trust energy. So I feel like I'm going to do one or the other here. I'm either going to be in the Nine of Swords energy, or I'm going to allow myself not to overthink, not to fear, take a chance. And I feel like you do because the Ace of Wands here, first of all, it's the energy of something feels passionate to you, desirable to you. But the Ace of Wands is really about action. Like, not only do I feel this energy, but then I'm going to take action within it. It's interesting because it's mirrored by the Death card, closing of a door. And sometimes that door is literally our thought system and how we've handled previous breakups or hardships. Are we allowing ourselves to bounce back, or are we like staying stuck to the ground type of energy? Knight of Pentacles wouldn't show if you couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? Because it's truly meant to expand your world. And what's right below it? The Ten of Pentacles. Right, what's right angled at it? The Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. All sit on your will. We have the Devil, card of Capricorn. For some of you, I do feel like it's representing a Capricorn, especially because it's coming under the 10, or coming over the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, I'm sorry, but also under the Knight of Pentacles. Now, for some, it can talk about illusions. And those illusions would tie back to the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords. The devil can certainly cast illusions that seem very real, but they're not real. It's like a guardian angel is here, almost like wants to protect you from that. When I see this image, you can see that the devil is really influencing the lovers, but not in a good way, in a negative way. So it can be illusionary energy that feels like the truth, but it's not the truth. Again, it reminds me again of what I said in the beginning, Sam and I, like, it's not that I didn't say, like, I couldn't say I loved you, but it didn't mean I didn't love him. I did. But he had the illusion that I didn't. We have the moon, part of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. The moon can be uncertainty because we can only see by the moon's light. Sometimes maybe that's what we're meant to, right? We're meant to take things step by step and not rush into something. This is also very dreamy type energy. Some of you, I feel like, for some reason, I feel like you're afraid to dream. Like you're afraid to dream. The moon is being mirrored by the Five of Pentacles over here. I mean, I get it, right? You don't want to have your heart broken again. If you're going to put your effort into something, you want it to turn out, you want it to work out well. If it's speaking about a relationship, I don't feel like this is just any old, like I just want any old relationship. No, I want a relationship that can stand the test of time. Interesting also with the devil and the moon so close together now for some Capricorn, Pisces. Um, Being so close together, can talk about like the energy feels dark. I feel like also the devil is like casting an illusion in your mind that you cannot have this Ten of Pentacles again. But your guardian angel is showing you the opposite, like what was taken is replaced tenfold. All right, I'm not done yet. I'm going to look at a couple things. Um, what do I want to look at? Well, I want to look at, there's a couple things I want to look at, but I want to look at the death card that's connected to the wheel, and then the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you, this Queen of Wands could be someone who's crossed over, who is part of your spiritual team now that's helping to usher in a new beginning. Look at this, Temperance, divine timing. So we have that from Mother Mary, patience. Patience, my child. Trust in divine timing. Temperance. All about divine timing. Temperance's main lesson is patience. Sometimes I want something before it's time. But in reality, it wouldn't serve me to come before it's time. And what I mean by that is because we're looking at the Eight of Swords, that self-created prison, and the Death card is asking you to close the door to that. But I have to, through the Nine of Wands, I'm learning about that. I'm learning about energy. I'm learning my own part in it. And I feel like divine is like, that's all we ask. That's all we ask. And it's like, okay, so I close that door. Well, divine timing seems to start. Like, this is it. Sitting right over the wheel, too. Wow. And I often feel like Temperance, her job is, and we have the Two of Cups right here, her job is to feel both these cups equally, right? They may need different things along the way to come to completeness. And Temperance isn't going to rush in, these two cups until both have been, equally fulfilled, so to speak. I feel like, where there's been slow energy, it's now speeding up. Again, it can talk about like get ready for 2024. It may just blow your mind. All right, I feel like I want to follow Temperance a little bit. Card of Sagittarius, by the way. Look at this, Seven of Pentacles right over the Knight of Pentacles. So I love seeing that, to be honest, because I feel like it's another card that speaks of patience. So there definitely been a lot of energy that's been slow moving, but maybe it needed to be slow moving. And sometimes, temperance is about universal timing, right? But sometimes it's a universe waiting on us to decide, are we going to live in the Nine of Swords or are we going to live in the Nine of Wands? Nine of Wands just means that I have learned from my experiences and I have grown from my experiences. And then if we think of the Knight of Pentacles, it comes in at the right time, not before, not after. This knight knows the perfect time to come in. And the Seven of Pentacles now being over that, that's like your tree of life. I feel like all these pentacles on this tree are your soul's seeds of intention, the things that your soul wanted to learn in this lifetime. Where we make a mistake is we think that like life should be easy all the time. But honestly, it is through the darkness that many times we find true light. So again, patience. However, in this energy, this is about, to me, it talks about watering your own garden, nurturing your garden. And if you're willing and able to do that, I feel like it's going to be plentiful, right? There's going to be quite the harvest. It is the number seven. I feel like it's talking about this year also. I mean, I know we're due November, but I feel like a lot of the readings are also getting us ready for next year. Let's just keep following that. It also makes me feel like, if this is talking about two soulmates coming together, I feel like it's definitely in this year. But maybe physically coming together next year. But let's see. I don't even know where I'm getting like coming together next year. I don't know why you couldn't come together this year. We have the Hierophant, faith, number five. So it wants you to question your faith. Interesting how I said with the death card, there's a key to the next door where the Hierophant carries those keys. I feel like part of your journey has been, and I feel like this for many of us, like, has been, to learn through these hardships, to keep our faith alive, right? Not to give up hope, even though these towers show up, right? Even though things happen, against our will, so to speak. But at the same time, I feel like divine timing is so much in your reading that maybe these towers, were valuable teachers at the same time. Now, many times I don't know that until I have started to move out of it. But man, if I can know that as, as one comes towards me, I feel like its effect is very little. Like if I'm living just, let's just say, through my humanness and forgetting that I'm a spiritual being, then these towers can feel devastating. But if I remember that I'm a spiritual being and there's nothing that I'm going through now that I haven't already been through, wow, it takes a sting out of the tower. Hierophant is also the card of Taurus, by the way. Um, hmm, I feel like it's just saying like you've got to believe. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your dreams. You got to believe anything can happen. And with temperance here, listen, it doesn't always mean that things turn out exactly how we hoped for them to turn out. But sometimes they turn out better. It's like letting go of control. If I cannot control that situation, then maybe I should just let go of it and then move on to the next. Right? I don't want to give my power away to these towers where I create these barriers, these walls of protection, right? This is truly about learning how to trust your own energy as a measure of what's good, what's bad, who's right, who's wrong. You know what I mean? And then not second guessing it. Eight of Swords, you're going to second guess it all day long. All right. I feel like I want to bring the soulmates out and just put it in the middle of the reading. Look at that. The hangman in the awakened state. Huh. With the page of cups over that. Some of you may, again, speak as someone of a younger time. But the page of cups really talks about, learning to love oneself again. It's that inner child type energy. Like not, sometimes we forget that it's okay to be playful. And that's, for some of us, what really brings everything to life. The hangman, awakened, and then the soulmates. Okay. I'm reading this like it's just a love story, and it is a love story. But I don't want to forget that, there's that Five of Pentacles, right? And it's connected to a tower. So, somewhere, somehow, it's like you took a hit of half your pentacles, but then it's being replaced. They are being replaced. Now, how long is the period in between? I feel like that's going to be up to you because again, I got to close doors to the ones that are no longer serving me. I got to know my own responsibility without judgment. Um, and then I feel like, and then those pentacles are replaced again, not just once, but twice. But anyway, so I'm going to look a little closer at the soulmates. Tell me more, tell me more. Judgment. It's your spiritual team calling you to the present moment. Why? Because a rebirth wants to happen in your life. Interesting. The death card that's above the soulmates, again, the closing of the doors to the past. And again, it doesn't mean that like who's ever in the soulmates can't be someone that you already know. But I'm closing the energy to you know, than any negativity or what have you. Like I've learned, And sometimes the lesson is I'm learning not to create these barriers around my heart because you just never know. You never know. And I know that's a fact because that's my life. You just never know who is going to show up, when they're going to show up, how they're going to show up. And, temperance is like, let go of that, of the control of that, and just know that in divine timing, it will show. They will show. But then you have judgment here. Your spiritual team is calling you to the present moment, right? And then I go into peaceful silence and I listen. So I feel like, and then the Ace of Wands below that. So your action is required. For some of you, this is a rebirth over a relationship. We have the Two of Pentacles, and then kind of a bummer that we have the Seven of Swords, but I don't feel like this is talking about what will be. I feel like this has already happened. So it makes sense, like the Seven of Swords, untrustworthy energy. So therefore, I dealt with that. That was so hard. So I create these walls around me so it cannot happen again. And then anytime somebody approaches me, I automatically go to that fear zone. My thoughts start like racing. But it's based on past energy. It's based on past energy. And if this is someone who was untrustworthy in the past and they're coming back, I feel like it's interesting because they're attached to the devil. Now, I don't feel like they're the devil. I feel like it could talk about someone who was tempted towards lower temptational energy and therefore made maybe not the best decisions at that time. The Two Pentacles in between it puts the ball in your court. So, it's always going to be up to you. All right, tell me more though about the Seven of Swords. Just a strange place and I want to say, like, if someone, Seven of Swords doesn't mean that someone had to cheat on me. It can just literally means that someone took more than their fair share. So how do I want to look at that? Okay, well, maybe I gave more than I received, and that's not going to work out forever. You know what I mean? And that's a lesson you had to learn. Like, okay, like I deserve to receive it equally, right? And this person, their lesson would have been, I've got to learn that I can't just be the taker. I've got to also be able to be the giver. I mean, don't forget, temperance is filling these two cups. And that means that, divine is dealing with all the issues. But we're not going to leave it there. We have the Ace of Swords. Interesting, because we have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands. We could talk about how something's coming together, maybe coming through communication. you know, Judgment brought out the Ace of Swords, but also the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, it didn't bring it out; it's over the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Wands. So it's almost like your spiritual team is saying it is going to require your action, and we're here to tell you that you can trust in this. Look at that, the Knight of Cups, unexpected cup of fulfillment. So even though I'm here telling you like the potential of something that's going to happen, it's still unexpected. So to me, that means that we don't know exactly when it's going to happen. We don't know what somebody else is going through and what they're trying to clear up or what divine is trying to help them clear up. But we're looking at the soulmates, and now we have the Knight of Cups under that. So this communication, I feel like it's going to start through communication. Um, I can't even pinpoint it for you. This is someone though that's bringing in a cup, and I feel like it's the other half of the soulmates. All right, well, let's follow that Knight, and then we'll read from Mother Mary. But let's follow that Knight a little bit. Page of Wands again. So again, this is someone who, looking right back at that Knight, I feel like someone would say, I've done some stupid things in my life. I've been tempted by the dark more often than not, but I've learned from that, right? Almost like because I traveled through the dark, now I recognize the light. Now I recognize love and true love type of energy. I feel like it's talking about someone who's matured. Now, I can tell you right now, this is not talking about like a narcissistic type energy because your guides would never tell you to take that back, right? Because I feel like the chances of that changing are so slim. Um, it's almost not worth the risk. You know what I mean? So I don't feel in my, like, I know how my guides give me information, and they would never say, like, okay, you're with this person who's a narcissist or abusive, but they've made some changes, take them back. No, no. Page of Swords, right next to that Page of Wands. Listen, I feel like there's nothing wrong with having a good talk. You know what I mean? I feel like there's nothing wrong with expressing how I feel and maybe even some of the fears I have. I do feel like what I want to be careful of is if this is what I want, right? If I do want this type of energy in my life, or I want this abundance or this happy home, then I do have to be open. I have to be open to it. But again, there's nothing wrong with like putting your cards on the table. But as you're putting those cards on the table, and if this is someone you already know, you could certainly say, like, do you understand, how it affected me? And I have a feeling they do, because again, soulmates, this is not your first trip together, let's say, or your first life together. And it potentially it won't be your last. I just want to look one more, the Four of Cups. So I was looking at that Seven of Swords, and we get the Four of Cups, discontentment and boredom in one's life. However, someone is being handed a cup. And I shouldn't just automatically put the Seven of Swords on the other person. It can also be our energy, where we were learning, like learning how to give in a relationship, learning, the value of give and take, right? Like, um, because again, for some, I feel like this energy started at more of like an immature time in your lives, like as you're growing and maturing. But I do feel like there was love that did develop, but we need more than love, right? We need security, we need loyalty. Um, we need not run if something, becomes a little difficult. We got to learn to work it out together type of energy. If this is someone I want to spend the rest of my life with, Four of Cups tells you to use your spiritual discernment, but this person is being offered a cup, as is the Knight of Cups bringing in a cup. One more. Look at that, the Six of Wands. So I feel like someone from the past had the ability to overcome something that, listen, I feel like interrupted their life in many different ways, not just like if this was a relationship in the past, didn't just interrupt this relationship, it interrupted their life. And almost like there was nothing you could have done anyway. It had to come through their lessons, their learning, right? It's like part of their soul's um, seed of intention was to learn some of these hard lessons. But I do feel like they've learned it. I do feel that because I feel like this is someone I can now look up to. Hmm. Look at that. Something made me pull one more card, and I'm looking at the soulmates, and now we have the Four of Wands. This is the marriage card, commitment, love. I feel like in the Four of Wands energy, this is someone I'm making a commitment to for the rest of my life. And I feel like in the Four of Wands, everyone wants to be there. No one's, kicking and screaming. It's like if we're getting married, it's because we just, it doesn't even have to be married, just a commitment. And I say that because Sam and I aren't married, but that doesn't like weaken our love. Our commitment is there. And so I feel like this is definitely talking about, a commitment for the rest of your lives. This doesn't feel like it came easy. No way did it come easy. It came packed full of lessons, um, packed full of energy where you had to learn to overcome it and not get stuck in your thought system. Your spiritual team is all through this reading, divine timing, the Knight of Pentacles that come at the right time. So I feel like if this is bringing someone in, they're not bringing someone in that that you have to heal, that you have to help. Doesn't mean you're not going to help them, because I feel like soulmates help heal those last broken pieces. Just of our lives in general, not always like just the two of us, but like how my heart got broken over this and that, this. Um, but nonetheless, I feel like now we're at a period of time where now I can look up to this person. And I feel like not just that, but I feel like this person may even be in the arena of helping others to overcome the things that they themselves have learned how to overcome. So don't be surprised if that's the case. Some of you are doing the exact same thing. Again, soulmates, very like minded energy. But the Four of Wands, I mean, to me, pure love, pure commitment. And if it's something I'm looking to set down roots with, well, this tells me 100% it can happen. I do have to say there's free will. If I don't uncreate these prisons, well, then that gives me my answer. If I don't close certain doors, like if I never close doors to the past, just think about like your closet, right? You saved every piece of clothing you've ever had since the day you were born, and you're trying to put it into one closet, right? It's not going to fit. And it's like a sign to the universe, like, I have no more room. Clean out that closet. And now you're telling the universe, I have room. I have room. Bring me something to fill my closet back up. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm going to read Mother Mary, and I'm going to read them both because I feel like they're both important. Of course, they're both important. They're from Mother Mary. All right, we're going to start with quiet. The answers you seek can be heard within the stillness. This card counsels you to create some alone time so that you can hear the truth. You will recognize it as such by the way that your body resonates with it. You may have a reaction of angel bumps on your skin or a feeling that everything clicks into place. I hope this reading is helping um, some of you like allow things to really click into place because I feel that. Sit quietly with your eyes closed and breathe deeply. Put your entire focus upon the sounds of your heartbeat and breath and notice them slowing. Then ask questions and listen to the answers that come to you as thoughts, feelings, and visions. Request that heaven sends you signs to validate that you've accurately heard these messages from above. And then take action where guided. Ace of Wands. All right, patience. Patience, my child. Patience. God's timing is perfect, as this card reminds you. When you pray for help, that request is heard and answered. If your prayers involve other people, their free will decision influences the timing of the outcome. Heaven knows this and devises ingenious solutions that arrive at exactly the right moment. There's your Knight of Pentacles. You receive this card as a reminder to have patience with God's plans and solutions. If you try to control, force, or push your own agenda, you may miss out on an infinitely better alternative. Ask Mother Mary to help you demonstrate her infinite patience and trust in God's timing. Amen. All right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it there. I feel like what will be, and will I allow it to be? I don't know. Okay. I want to remind you again of the special I'm running. I'll have the info below. I want to thank you for your donations. It's what keeps the channel on YouTube. No other way around it. And think about that with your readers because I don't know. We put a lot of, like, I put everything I have into a reading each and every time. Um, but YouTube's all about the money now. They're not about the creator. So us readers are depending more and more on you guys. Now, I'm not telling you to donate if you can't afford it. Sometimes just watching an ad, sharing the video, like what you can do, all of that. I have so much gratitude for. Um, I thank you for just accepting my readings the way that they are. I couldn't change them even if like you wanted me to. I just feel like I have to read the way it just naturally, because it just naturally comes out this way for me. So I've learned to trust it, and I hope you do too. I know that many of you do. And I love that many of you are really learning to pay attention to your intuition now. You're getting that, it's like, okay, well, I don't have Libra in my chart that I know of, but man, this reading fits. Just trust in that. You know what I mean? Trust your intuition. Let's just put it that way. But anyways, so much gratitude for everything you do for me and this channel. I thank you, thank you, I thank you. And I will see you. Happy birthday again to those celebrating a birthday. But I will see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.